Hey everybody, it's Dana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and blog. Like I promised, I am back with another video sharing with you my go-to dies. Now, if you missed my first video sharing some of my sentiment dies and my stitched and layered dies, I will link it here above, and I'll also put it in the description box so you guys can watch that video as well. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite holiday dies as well as some of my on the border dies. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have several dies that I would normally use, and the majority of the dies I use are normally for Valentine's Day or Christmas. Christmas is like a big one for me. I always have a lot of Christmas dies because those are the cards I make the most during the year. So I'm gonna first start out with I'm gonna move these out of the way. I'm gonna start out with my Valentine's Day dies, or like my love dies. So the first one here is the Heart Sprinkle Wreath by Simon Says Stamp. This wreath is actually gorgeous. So you get all these circled hearts rather in a circle, which are actually so beautiful. And what I like about this is I can also turn this into a shaker card by placing a lot of my sequins just around the inner part of this and then stamping a sentiment in the middle. My next card is Streaming Heart from Simon Says Stamp. Absolutely love this design on this one here. I think it's very whimsical, and I also think it's actually beautiful, almost like sun rays going through this heart. It's stunning. It's one of my favorite when I'm making cards for my husband. The next one here is Heart Parade. This makes a fantastic little border around any of your heart-inspired cards. It actually cuts out the center part as well as this piece here, which is almost like a top layering piece. So you can make both of these in different colors if you want to, but it gives you just that nice little outline to add just another touch of prettiness to this die. The next one here is Peekaboo Stripe by MFT. This one here is also one of my go-tos. I love that I can cut this out and you're actually being able to see through this heart. And what I like is really having the dimensional part of the stripes in this die. This is truly stunning on a card. My last one for Valentine's Day is a rather expensive one. So this one here is the Caprice Heart layering die, and I'm gonna pull this out so you can see what this is. So this here are 3 dies that actually layer on top of each other. These are blueprint, and they're made by Birch Press Designs. And what's so phenomenal about these is that you can use them separately, or you can use just 2 of these, or all 3 of them together to give you a beautiful stacked dimensional heart. I have a card that I made for Valentine's Day, and it was my most successful card that I sold to some of my friends who purchased my cards, and I actually had to use this die, I will probably say, on 25 to 30 cards because it's absolutely so beautiful. Next, we're gonna roll right into Christmas, which happens to be like my favorite holiday. I can make Christmas in July all the way through December. It's actually one of the time of the years I just get giddy, and my husband's like, oh my God, here we go. She's already listening to Christmas music, but it's a holiday that always brings great memories to me. So I do have a ton of holiday dies. So let's go ahead and get started with these. So the first one I have here is from Pretty Pink Posh. I purchased this one because obviously it has my last name in it. This one says Joy, but I also like the fact that there are options with this to turn this into a shaker card, which I did on several cards, but it's just such a gorgeous font in this one as well. And then I also picked up a smaller one, which is very fine. I'm gonna just pull this out if I can get it out the envelope. A very fine Merry Christmas. I love the sentiment on this and how classy this looks. And it, again, it's beautiful on a holiday card. I've cut this out several times in gold for my Christmas cards, and they were a huge hit for me. Now I'm going to get into some ones that are not just sentiment dies, but ones I go to. For Christmas cards, I love, love, love using trees. So this birch trees from Lawn Fawn is one of my favorite and my go-to add very pretty trees. Now you can cut these out of brown cardstock, cut them out of white cardstock. You can use Distress Oxide inks with them, but they are totally one of my go-to dies when I think about nature for the holiday. Now I'm gonna also share with you really quickly another go-to for whimsical and forestry, I guess. This one here is Taller Than Trees by Technique Tuesday. I did this stamp set, this die here for one of my holiday cards last year, and I actually have a video up using this die. It is beautiful. Perfect for masculine cards, or perfect for some of my girlfriends who live like in Alaska. And this die is fantastic for making those great woodland winter cards. You can actually die cut this out several times and then pop some of the trees up, and then also add snow to this. It makes a phenomenal holiday card. Okay, next I'm going to just share with you just a couple of more basic go-to ones. This one here is Joy by Concord and Ninth, and of course I have to have any die during the holiday season that has my last name on it, because look, I married a very joyful man, so I wear it proudly anytime I die cut the word joy. So this one here is the Joy one from the Concord and Ninth, and then here I have the Joyful Noel. So I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to show you how these look. So you have a phenomenal little Christmas wreath in this one. You also get a star, and then you also get Joy and Noel. And then for the O's in this, you use the wreath. This is gorgeous, you guys. So if you guys have a chance to pick this up, or you already have it in your stash, it makes phenomenal holiday cards. Keeping on that theme of keeping a circle, I do have the Merry Christmas. I'm going to pull this one out because I have this in a folder that has a bunch of these circle dies. So this one here says Happy Holidays, and this one here says Merry Christmas. I've used both of these on holiday cards last year. Super, super fun to do. Very easy to turn into shaker cards. And when you use these kind of dies, you don't really have to add much else to your cards. Maybe, you know, some sequins in the middle or around the edge. But once you use these, you really don't have to add much to your cards afterwards, because the sentiment's large enough to hold some weight on its own, and that's what I love. Next I have here the Season's Greetings, and this is from Simon Says Stamp. So this one here is a very gorgeous, very simple, pretty font. Now this cuts out a little bit thinner, but what I like is that I can cut this out a few times, stack them on top of each other, and it gives me a really thick and hearty sentiment, as well as having a very nice like embellishment on my card. Okay, now I'm coming down to ones that are just speak to me for the holidays, and these are some memory box dies. So this one here is the Holly Collage, which cuts out, I'm gonna actually pull this one out so you can see it a little bit better. It actually has all these little holly pieces that you can cut out and add dimension to on your cards. I love this because it just, like, to me, looks like a scatter of the holly leaves, which makes a phenomenal, again, holiday card without having to add much to it. I can just use this die here, pop on a sentiment, and I'm good to go. Another one that I like from Memory Box is the Woodland Deer. This one too is fantastic for some of those masculine cards during the holidays, or again to my favorite peeps who live on acres and acres of land and they see deers all the time. I'm actually going to make this one for my twin sister, because while I was home in New Jersey this summer, I actually was able to run into a whole bunch of deers in her neighborhood. So she's going to get this one, and we named some of the deers while we were there. So I'm going to put the little deer's name underneath this one. Next, I have the Snowflake Lens Memory Box. Now, I did a video on this one, and it is gorgeous, you guys. So you get all of this snowflake detail in this die. Again, it's phenomenal for making shaker cards. And again, it's very, very pronounced on your card. So again, you just need to add a sentiment to this, and your card is complete. Now I'm gonna go into something that's not just the style of dies, but I like to make collages for some holiday cards where I can like do this and then pop in different images. This one is the Stitch Collage Frame from My Favorite Things, which is like one of my go-to for my holiday cards where I wanna have like little critters or little sentiments poked out on my card. And this one is a phenomenal one to do. Lastly, I'm going to be showing you the tag builder from MFT. I made several tags this year, and I believe I still have the video or cards rather up on my blog on how I turned these into beautiful tags for Christmas. I think this is such a buildable set. As you can use this for Valentine's Day because we have some hearts in here. There's also a banner die that you can place above or below your images, but I turned these on into shaker tags and they were a fantastic hit. Okay, now on to my border dies. Now I love the concept Techniques Tuesday came up with having border dies. So let me share a few of those with you. So these dies here are fantastic for cutting a edge, a gorgeous edge, I may say, on the outside of your cards. I will be sure to link to some of the designs that the Technique Tuesday design team has done with some of these border dies. They're absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'm going to show you this one. I have not yet had a chance to put it into an envelope. This one here is Wave on the border die. Now, I have a card that I recently posted up on my blog showing how to use this with just not cutting it on the border, but also fussy cutting it out to build up these dies. So don't think that just because it just says it's on a border, you can totally reuse these in different ways and build up images on your card. So I'll be sharing a video soon on how to use a lot of these on the border dies. The next one I have is bubbles on the border. So this here has all these tiny little bubbles and large bubbles in different sizes, and they will be perfect for doing a rainbow of bubbles and then popping some of these up and then leaving some of them flat. Love this one here. I have yet to cut this out and not enjoy the process of this. I like Clean and Contemporary, which for some reason bubbles or circles is like my go-to when I think of contemporary. Next, I have gears on the border. I also have a card made with this one, but I'm going to share with you how gorgeous these gears turn out. Now, I did add some patinaing to this, but look how gorgeous this is. And this is perfect for masculine cards. Absolutely phenomenal for masculine cards. So I actually used this on my Father's Day cards this year, and they were a hit. They were absolutely a hit. And I also think like, what is that? Steampunk looks also work fantastic with these dies. Okay, another one we have is called Spaceship on the Border. This is so cute and fun if you need like a great little birthday card, but look how great that is. So we get the moon, we actually get the shape of the ship, as well as some stars. This is actually gorgeous. So again, I'll make sure to link to some of these border dies so you guys can get a real in-depth look on how these work. The next one I have, and I built a card off of this one for one of the releases. This is called Strawberries on the Border. Look how gorgeous this is. And when I say it shows a lot of detail in this die, it shows a lot of detail. Look, you can actually get the little holes in the strawberries and the little holes in the leaves. This die is gorgeous for summer cards. Actually, I want to make this and then put like a little martini glass to it and make myself like a strawberry martini. But this is actually such a gorgeous, gorgeous stamp set. I mean, die. And I also have a card on my blog. Lastly, for my border dies is this tulip on the border. So again, all of these are used, I'm going to flip this over, to cut in a gorgeous border around your card. And then you just need to place a nice little sentiment, maybe some gems. But this is beautiful with just having something on the border. Instead of just having like a straight edge on your card, you get a very beautiful design instead. Okay, everybody, that is a wrap for this video. I'll be coming back with a few more of my favorites, my favorite watercoloring and my favorite Copic combinations, as well as some of my favorite stamps. So stay tuned for that. I will see you guys in another video soon. Take care, everybody, and have a great day.